Fox has created, and the right-wing media ecosystem beyond it, has created an alternate set of realities that have disinformed and outright lied to their viewers and the American people.
Let's bring in Garrett Graff, author of Watergate, A New History. He's also a contributing editor to Wired and a CNN contributor. And Shelby Talcott, senior White House correspondent for the Daily Caller, with us as well. Thank you both for coming on. Garrett, you wrote for Wired this week that America's media ecosystems are, quote, increasingly separate and unequal. What do you mean, especially with the unequal part?
Yeah, one of the things, this is almost 50 years after the Watergate burglary, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about the comparisons then and now. And the challenge that we now face is that Fox has created, and the right-wing media ecosystem beyond it, has created an alternate set of realities that have disinformed and outright lied to their viewers and the American people, and that it makes democracy very hard to function when citizens are starting with fundamentally different sets of beliefs about what has actually happened. Democracy requires a certain agreement upon a set of facts such that citizens can participate actively and thoughtfully in their own government. And Fox is sort of step by step lying to the American people night after night in a way that has torn their viewers from reality. I think that it is not surprising to me that they kept the truth of the Thursday night January 6th committee hearings from their public, because I think there's a very strong argument that Fox News writ large is effectively an unindicted co-conspirator in the violence and insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th.
We're going to hear more about that at Monday's hearing when a former Fox political editor testifies. He was in the room where it happened, so to speak, on election night and beyond. It'll be really interesting to see what he says. Shelby, I don't want to you're from the Daily Caller. I don't want to treat you as the conservative media spokesperson here any more than Garrett's the liberal media spokesperson. But I would love your point of view on what Garrett just said about that fracture in the country, Fox lying to viewers.
Well, I would say, I can't speak for Fox News specifically, but being from a conservative-leaning news outlet, I would say the angle from conservative media, at least where I work at the Daily Caller, is that working-class voters in these swing states are struggling with a whole slew of problems: high inflation, gas prices, grocery bills, getting baby formula. So how do these hearings help with those issues? So it's not that conservative media is trying to run cover for Trump. It's just that with everything going on in America today, it's hard for the media, in conservative media's view, to sit there and try to force a big chunk of the country to care about this issue more than issues that they're actually experiencing and being affected by day to day.
Garrett, do you buy that?
I don't, in part because I think the challenge is that both can be true at the same time. There are all number of struggles in the U.S. Economy and society today, but January 6th was an assault unprecedented on our American democracy, and getting to the truth of it, understanding the truth of it, and ensuring that it doesn't happen again is one of the most important issues that we face as a country, with a very existential question about whether American democracy survives.
Is there a world where Americans who watch CNN will also read the Daily Caller, where readers of the Daily Caller will also watch MSNBC or watch ABC? Because it feels to me like things have become so fractured that there's very little overlap now happening.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. And I hope as a member of the press that we can start having people who read the Caller also tune into CNN. And I actually think that could be the answer to all of this, right? Instead of saying all of media has to cover this topic the same exact way with the same gusto, how about we try to figure out how to get people to broaden what they're reading and what news they're watching. And, maybe that ties into less partisanship. I don't know the answer, but I hope that that's where the future of media and the future of news consumption is heading.
In the modern world, the news of the day is a lot. Doesn't mean we can't have a great time taking it in. And if that sounds like something you might be interested in, make sure to tune into Daily Caller Live with me, JoBob, each and every morning on the Daily Caller Live YouTube channel.
Click the link in the description or the button on the screen to check it out.